Hello, children. How are you all? Today, we'll continue the poem Lochinvar, written by Sir Walter Scott. First, we'll recollect the first stanza which I had done in the previous class. In the first stanza, the poet Sir Walter Scott has described Lochinvar by saying that he rode from west in his steed. He rode all unarmed except broadsword. He was faithful in love and dauntless in war. And there was no other knight as brave as Lochinvar. I'll be reciting the second paragraph of the poem. Please refer your textbook, children. He stayed not for brick, and he stopped not for stone. He swam the Esk river, where ford there was none. But ere he alighted at Netherby gate, the bride had consented, the gallant came late. For a laggard in love and a dastard in war was to wed the fair Ellen of brave Lochinvar. Difficult words which we come across in the first two lines. First one, stayed, which means stopped. Second one, brick, which means a thicket. Thicket refers to a dense growth of bushes. First two lines of the poem. He stayed not for brick and he had stopped not for stone. He swam the Esk river where ford there was none. Moving on to the explanation part. He was not delayed with any thickets or bushes or in any other way. He had neither stopped in any place nor for any difficulties. He started his journey from Scotland and ended in England itself. He did not bother about any hindrances. He swam Esk River. Here you come across a word ford, which means a shallow point where the river can be crossed on foot. But in the Esk River, there was no such ford and it was deep. But Lochinvar had to cross such a deep river. It's two lines. But ere he alighted at Netherby gate, the bride had consented, the gallant came late. Three difficult words which we come across in these two lines are ere, which means before. Second one, alighted, which means got down. Third, gallant, which means brave. Netherby Hall is on the north side of England. Before the brave Lochinvar got down near the Netherby Hall, Ellen had consented to marry another person and the wedding ceremony was arranged by her father. Last two lines. For a laggard in love and a dastard in war was to wed the fair Ellen of brave Lochinvar. Two new words which we come across are laggard, a timid person. Second, dastard, which means covered. In this part of the poem, the poet explains about the groom who is getting married to Ellen. As I had said, as Lochinvar came late to Netherby Hall, Ellen had already consented for marriage with another person who was timid and covered in war and totally opposite to that of the Lochinvar. Moving on to the third paragraph. So boldly he entered the Netherby Hall among bridesmen and kinsmen and brothers and all. Then spoke the bride's father, his hand on his sword, but the poor craven bridegroom said never a word. Oh, come he in peace here, or come he in war, or to dance at a bridal, young Lord Lochinvar. Two difficult words which we come across in this paragraph are craven, which means cowardly. Second one, kinsman, which means blood relatives. Lochinvar was brave and courageous. He boldly enters the Netherby Hall, where bride's family, blood relatives, cousins were present. Lochinvar enters into the hall. This timid person, that is the groom, stands quiet without uttering a word. So, Ellen's father had to interrupt. Ellen's father, having a sword in his hand, asks Lochinvar the purpose of coming, whether he had come in peace or war or dance at the bridal party. Fourth paragraph, the first two lines. I long owed your daughter my suit you denied. Love swells like the Solway, but ebbs like its tide. Finbar was trying to gain love and get married to Ellen from a long time. He requests Ellen's father for marriage, but he denies. Here, the word suit refers to the request which has been made by Lochinvar to Ellen's father. In the second line, we come across a word called Solway. Solway is a river which separates Scotland and England. In this river, tides are very powerful and high and gradually ebbs. Initially, Lochinvar's love was so powerful as that of the tides. But now, after the denial, his love is gradually decreasing. Lochinvar tells a lie to Ellen's father so that he will not suspect and let him be in the wedding hall. Second line, love swells like the Solway but ebbs like its tide, is simile, as his love has been compared to the tides of Solway using the word like. Third and fourth line of the stanza. And now am I come with this lost love of mine, to let but one measure drink one cup of wine. Lochinvar says that he has come to Netherby Hall to be a part of measure with his lost love and drink a cup of wine. Here, measure refers to a type of a dance which has been performed during the bridal functions. As two lines of the stanza. There are maidens in Scotland more lovely by far that would gladly be bride to the young Lochinvar. He praises himself that there were beautiful maidens in Scotland who would gladly agree to marry young Lochinvar. We'll continue the next part of the poem in the next class, children. Now it's the time for the assignment. First one, what do you mean by Lagarde? Second, what is compared to the love of Lochinvar? Thank you. Have a nice day, children.